This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Heather Joy Batten.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Heather. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. We feel, or at least I feel very festive. We're matching with our red shirts.
No, you're
Thanks for
wearing your
joining us.
lumberjack plaid today.
Yeah.
It's very Ottawa-based. You going to
I've
a
always been a
Redblacks game later today?
football fan through and through. It's my sport. It's where my heart is, and I love to represent as much as I can.
Perfect.
So you're here with us from SOS Power. Tell us about the great work that you do.
Yeah, so SOS Power Sales actually has been around since 1975. So we are celebrating our 50th anniversary next year. And that's
Outstanding.
kind of a good time because I actually just acquired it in April of this year.
Outstanding.
So SOS Power has spent the majority of its time on Clyde Avenue, and it was
Yeah.
a family-run business. And I got the opportunity late last year to start meeting with the owner, Albert Ralph, and his wife, Patty. And I struck a deal, and we closed on it in April of this year. So we moved it from Clyde
Outstanding.
Avenue to 950 Moody Drive.
Okay.
I own that property, and there's a couple other businesses there as well. And now we're ready to rock.
Amazing. I love that for you, but I love that for them. How special after pouring heart and soul into a family business to know that this is a next chapter that's going to keep serving the community in a meaningful way. I love that. Tell us about your journey. How did you get here?
Yeah, so I'm a civil engineer by trade, and I've always kind of been interested and had an entrepreneurial spirit. So when the opportunity came about for this, I thought it would be a good fit with another business that I own, Canlock Stone, and we moved it over. And I met with Albert and Patty, and they were phenomenal people and so easy to deal with. So putting a business deal together with them was really good. And Albert's knowledge of the repairs and maintenance on the equipment is just outstanding. He spent his whole life working with his dad and his brother.
Oh,
And
amazing.
and now his son works there too. So I kept him around. So
Wow.
yeah, it's super cool. Very family oriented business. And we moved it into a bigger showroom and a bigger shop. And, it's a little bit of a different location, right? But on Clyde
Yeah.
Avenue, we were servicing more of central Ottawa. Now on
Right.
Moody Drive, we're more in southern, southeast,
Right.
southwest kind of location. But it's been great. We service, Toro, Honda, Cub Cadet, Wacker Neuson, and Echo and Still products. And then we
Excellent.
sell, for new sales, we sell Wacker, Cub Cadet, and Still and Echo. So it's pretty exciting that way. And yeah.
That's awesome. I honor you for um, just creating such an organic approach to your business, recognizing the family aspect that clearly was important to them, and being able to continue working with their son. And I understand you have children yourself. You've got 4 kids, and
Yeah.
I imagine that being an entrepreneur and a business person, that family is really important. Then and finding ways to make sure that everyone has a place.
Yes, that's right. So with our 4 kids, my wife actually is an entrepreneur as well. She owns her own business, Play on Pediatrics. So the kids
Beautiful.
they kind of grow up in this mentality of just, oh, you always just own your businesses. I think that's how they just assume the world works. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
interesting that way.
beautiful. I love that. Well, it brings me to my next question. What do you do for fun? Obviously, work is fun for you. It shows. I get a real sense that your businesses are important, but you make it fun anyway. But when you're not working in your business, what do you do for fun?
Yeah, so I'm 39 this year, and I think for fun right now, for the next 10 years or 11 years, I keep telling my wife from 40 to 50, we're going to live for the kids, right? We're going to
Beautiful.
be involved in all the sports that we can and take them to as many places as we can. And that, we're working to provide the lifestyle that we want for the kids to do the things that they want to do. So, now I spend probably, I don't know, 10 hours a week at the hockey arena, just in action
Beautiful.
on the ice with the kids. My daughter does cheer. This weekend, we were just in Newmarket for a hockey tournament
Wow.
and then stopped on the way home in Oshawa for a cheer event. So
Oh my
it's a
goodness.
super busy house, but I don't think I'd have it
Absolutely.
any other way.
I can tell. And our kids, they just bring us so much pride and joy, right? You wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
That's right.
And I think we all know how quickly this time goes with them when they're young. We want to make the most of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I find I guess turning 40 next year, you always kind of look at life in stages, and you think about when I first started in business, it was like how much can I make? How much can I grow? How many different things can I do? And then as you get further along in business, like, okay, so what do I need to do
Yeah,
to live the life that I want to live? And the
absolutely.
important thing, like my legacy and my wife's legacy is our family and our kids and the lives we've impacted. So I think that's really where we'll be spending the next the rest of our lives. And life can be so short too, right? You want to make sure
Totally.
you're enjoying what you're doing.
Absolutely. I honor you for it. And your wife. Actually, it sounds like you guys have a really great balance to, there's no shortage of things that pull us in all kinds of directions as parents.
Yeah,
But it
that's right.
sounds like you guys make the most, when it's a trip to Oshawa, you make it count, right?
Yeah, we definitely don't. We don't live a life of relaxation.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of downtime, but it's still
Absolutely.
exciting. It keeps you busy.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Well, I wanted to ask if there are any myths or misconceptions about your industry as it relates to SOS Power.
Being a small equipment dealership, there's a couple things that you need to kind of keep in mind. One, you could go to a big box store and you could buy very similar equipment, and it's going to be made a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, what you're coming to like an SOS for is you want to be able to have that representation with somebody who lives and breathes this equipment every
Mm,
day.
right.
And even if you bought equipment at a box store, if it falls under one of our brands that we manage or that we repair, you would end up coming to see us anyways if there was any maintenance that needed to be done, whether it was under warranty
Okay.
or anything like that. So people
Interesting.
often think that if they didn't buy something at the store, that they can't come in to get the warranty work done. So
Okay.
I'd say that's the biggest misconception that people have. Let's say you bought an Arian snowblower and you needed service to be done on it. You could bring it in and we would service it.
Amazing. So that's an education piece that's important to
Yeah,
you to clients to make sure that they know that you're there regardless of where you bought it. If it falls under your jurisdiction, they can come to you.
that's right.
That's
The other
awesome.
thing that we do is because of the length and the time that SOS has been around, they've had a lot of longstanding clients, and we offer a pickup service, which isn't always normal, and not a
Yeah,
lot of small equipment people don't do that. So let's say you lived in Canada and you
yeah,
didn't have a truck, but you wanted to get your snowblower serviced.
of course.
We offer a pickup service. Now there is a fee for that, obviously, but
Right.
it does allow you to not have to stress about how am I going to get this fixed, or waiting
Absolutely.
till the very end to get it done. And it's the same thing with lawnmowers or riding mowers. Perhaps you have a big estate property, but you don't have a truck. So it's like, how do I
Yeah.
get my lawnmower to get serviced? Well, if you call us at SOS, we send out a gentleman. His name's Sean. He's been with the company for 35 years and
Wow.
picks it up.
That's awesome. That's great. That I think that's great news for anyone, especially in this weather that we're having in Ottawa at the
Yes.
moment, to
Yeah,
know that they don't have to find their own way to get their snowblower to you to be serviced.
that's right.
Um, Personally, is there anything in your life that's been a particular hardship that, at the time was a real struggle, but you can look back now and say, you know what? I'm stronger for it, I'm better for it, and it's made me who I am today.
You know, in my life in general, I mean, there's lots of hardships as entrepreneurs, and
Yeah.
people want to look at the good things that happen or the big successes that you have, and a lot of times when you have the failures, you're by yourself or with your wife or with your close
Mm,
family or your closest friends. So it's funny because the big wins are always noted, and people say how lucky you are or how smart you were to make these investments and how it's so amazing that your life goes this way. But in reality, it's the small losses that you take on your own that are, can be tough to get through. And
right.
I think that it's important to understand that, what you see in people on the outside, right? You're looking at social media or all these different things. It's not actually showing you the work or the stress that goes into the day-to-day running of a small business.
Right. That's very well said. Sean and I have a similar path to where we are today, and what you've shared has resonated with me in a big way because it's certainly not without its hiccups along the way that bring you to where you are. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. What do you wish our listeners to know about your business? You've shared, we have delivery, or sorry, we have pickup service. We have, we'll service your equipment even if you've not bought it here. What else would you like people to know?
Having moving a business from Clyde Avenue to Moody Drive, the most important thing I want people to know is that we've moved.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And that we're
Especially a
still there.
long-standing business
That's right.
in Ottawa. Yeah, for sure.
That's
We're
right.
still here. You can
We're
find us
still
here.
here. We are the same, we have the same kind of ownership group, with some additions, obviously. And, Albert is still there. Mike is still there. It's that same family atmosphere, just in a different location. So that is what I think you need people to know. And I also think you can't replace the experience that comes with somebody like Albert, who grew up in the business, and his son Mike, who also obviously younger than Albert, but who grew up in the business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's invaluable.
Yes, that's right.
Now that we've met this way, I'm gonna pop in and bring a few of my kids so we can check out your shop.
Yeah.
And I encourage our listeners to do the same because it's a real honor and pleasure to have a chance to chat with you, Michael, and hear more about the great work that you do. And thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you so much, and I appreciate the offer.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Batten House Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to battenhousepodcast.ca. That's battenhousepodcast.ca. Or call 343-308-3606.